Hello, have fun. All right, star point, star point. Let's see what your basics are. We are going to test your basics and see how well you apply them. All right, so he's going here. So let's do basics. Most open side would be the left. We're gonna go left side now. I normally would approach at h3, but you know, let's stick to basics. What you're gonna do? All right, you extend, perfectly fine. Now, there's not really any open side left, so we look for the biggest area. The biggest area is definitely the black area here, so we need to go in somewhere. The very easy way to go in is the 3-3, so we're just gonna do that. Because that's the simplest way to go in here. Might not be the best, but 3-3 is very simple, and so that's what we're gonna do. Play 3-3 Joseki. All right, and now I do normally go h3, but in this case it feels kind of gote. And I'm supposed to get Sente with the 3-3, right? But if I go h3, it'll be gote. And if he plays, or h2, it'll be gote. If he plays h2, I can still live, so I'm okay. So I want Sente. I think Sente's more valuable. So I'm going to go up here and play the last really open big move. And now we go into endgame. So now we're pretty much in endgame already. Just about, unless he wants to invade the left, which he might. Oh, he played L5 instead of L6, which is interesting. Yeah, you want to play the Tiger's Mouth because you can block the Hane at N5 and Sente, but in this case you don't. Alright, so he's going to go here. So his center is getting big, but let's play some endgame first. Mm-hmm. Alright, and the last big move's kind of here, but his area looks big. So at this point we would say, is it okay to just fix? Otherwise, I need to reduce his area, right? His area is pretty big though, but if he comes in, it's also pretty big. So I think I'm going to try and fix this way and just say I'm going to kill him if he comes in, which I may be able to get away with that. No, let's not try that. Not try that. Actually, let's go up one more. Nah, let's just play big move. I'm not allowed to count because at this level you wouldn't really count, right? So you just have to kind of estimate. Shoulder hit. Shoulder hit where? I'm not sure where you're talking about. G10. He was reducing? Oh, I thought you were building. Yeah, that was fine. I thought you were developing. So this actually has a interesting Tsuji here, but I think it's okay. Hmm. I think it's just endgame. I think I'm okay. So I'm going to reduce on the line of the influence now, guys. Line of the influence, very easy reduction. Yeah, that was fine. All right, so can I Hane? Yeah, I'm gonna sack this stone if he cuts. Okay, he didn't cut, so I'm gonna do that. Do that. Mm-hmm. And just keep doing my end game. Get this move since he didn't block it earlier. All right, and we're gonna kind of stop this move here. Because I don't want him to get this move at E2. Not in Sente anyway. Mm-hmm. And then block this area. And now we kind of hope we're ahead because we just tried to play our best and play simple and whatnot and hope that's enough. And hopefully it will be enough. Because the goal at this level is to make sure your game's very solid and has mastered the basics, because your opponents will not have mastered the basics. And that's the goal at this level. You're not trying too hard to be super crazy. You're just trying to master the basics. And once you master the basics, then you can worry about doing other stuff. So I'm going to go here. But master the basics first. And if you lose, you lose. It's fine. You're working on fixing your game and developing your game. And then eventually you'll just rank up. And once you master the basics, you can start worrying about other stuff. Because I haven't counted, I haven't read anything, I've just simply played the basics. And that's all we need to do at this level. We just need to master the basics. All right, this looks like overplay because I can just simply cut. All right, just live. Mm-hmm. Uh, ooh, that'd lead to a Seki. So we're gonna block. And now we probably need to fix because there's a Seki in here. So, fix. So that was a nice little in-game reduction. That was very good for black. So maybe I should have gotten this H2 sooner. But it's still fine. No big deal. No big deal. Live and learn. All right, he blocks there. Perfectly fine. All right, and I'm going to block this Sente reduction. Because that's an annoying Ko that you don't want to fight. And if he Hanes and you try and block, you might be able to turn it into a Ko, which would be very annoying. Or I'd have to play there, which is quite big. Okay, just gonna block. We might have actually been able to ignore this one. We might not have needed to respond. Okay, perfectly fine. So I'm gonna play here to fix. Block. And then take, quite big. And then reduce. Reduce. Ooh, he made a mistake. I'm not gonna punish it though. Atari. 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 I'm not gonna punish it. Just finish. We're just gonna finish the game. Yeah, I know I could have punished. I know I could have punished. It's okay. Alright, pass. Okay. I think that looks good. So we're gonna accept. All right, and white wins by 18.5. All right, so no big deal. That was a pretty fun game. So let's see what could have happened differently. All right, now we get into the hardcore analysis, right? Cool, cool. You did perfectly fine. All right, so let's see. Where did you lose the points? Here, I would prefer something like this because if you go here next to white's thickness, it's very easy to come in, which it could have done, but I think no, this is better. This is better than 3-3. 3-3 is very easy, and then here you have to block this way. But now it feels like F3 didn't get any points. So I think instead of F3, just H3 is fine. Then white might come in with something like this, and that's fine. You just take your points. Seal white. Force white to live somehow. Something like that. Or maybe white has to exchange here and then fight. Since white's really cramped here. But point is, it's a lot easier to work with. All right, but I came in 3-3. The end of the Joseki is not this, it's a tiger's mouth. That way the block is gote for white, or for sente for black. And that way the hane is gote for white. But if you play here, then later, this is sente for me. So it's very, it's like a 2-point difference. 2-point difference. So it's can be quite big. So make sure to do the tiger's mouth next time. All right, so white just plays a big move, and you go shoulder hit. I think rather than shoulder hit, move here would be pretty nice. And you can simply play this way. And then just run away with something like this and destroy the whole left side. And I think that's a little bit more effective than the center. And in this case, I think white is probably losing. Let's see, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 30, 32, 33. So black has about 33, and this is 10, 12, 22, 28, 30. So black's slightly ahead, but white's not it's not game over yet. But black's slightly ahead because I don't have Komi, right? I don't have Komi. The black could be slightly ahead in this case. Alright, but you chose to go for center, which is fine, but I'm going to get all these Sente moves and just take my points. Now you played here. That feels a little bit slow because it's not Sente. What about here? And then seal the area with something like this and just make the center yours. Make it yours. And then if white comes in, you can simply block like this and try to make it as big as possible. Right? Or a shoulder hit here and say, are you going to let me get the center? Or are you going to let me reduce the side? And in this case, I'd probably let you get the center unless it seems way too big. So there's many ways to reduce, but you try to reduce in a kind of Sente, kind of big way. And make that center as big as possible. Like reduce the left, build the right, kind of thing. This is not Sente, so I can easily just play on the line of the Moyo and reduce. And when you develop the center, you want to do it in Sente if possible. Be Sente, Sente, Sente. Because the center, if it's Gote, is really small because I can simply play on the line and reduce it very easily. And while reducing, I'll be able to actually develop my own area, which you saw in the game. I actually made points while reducing your points. Also, instead of that, you should just block here. This is worth maybe 2 points more. And maybe you could do something here first, because there's a Tsuji here, which is probably bigger than the center. And then an Atari here, and reduce my area with a counterattack. And even if I get in here a little bit, it's fine because you can cut. So I'm only going to get like maybe something like this. So I'm not going to get in very deep. So go ahead and reduce me back, and I think you'll win. But it's a little bit more dangerous, requires a little bit more reading. But just know that there are options sometimes. So when you're losing, you might want to look for these reading moves. Maybe you won't see that one, but maybe a counterattack with something like this is possible. But when you're behind, when you think that, oh, I'm probably behind, or I'm pretty sure I'm behind, then try to find some reading sequence and try to read and try to find some sequence to take advantage of your opponent's lack of shape and reduce and destroy their points, because your points, just blocking your points isn't going to be enough. You're just going to lose, right? So you have to do something. Yeah, it requires reading. Tsujis are the overplays that work. This is overplay, so not quite a Tsuji. However, in the game, you played this move. And then here. If you played this follow-up, I'm pretty sure I have to respond. So that would take advantage of your Aji that you left behind. You lost a few points, but because you could do this and this regardless. But you might as well take advantage of the Aji. Right, you made a mistake. Okay, now it's Aji. So take advantage of the Aji. This was really good. I don't know if you would have seen the Seki, but just in case, I had to fix. Instead of this, I think a monkey jump would be better. You actually could go one further here. Yeah, you could go as far as D1. So this is the kind of monkey jump looking shape, because I can't really cut it off. Most I could do is this. But I can't cut those stones off. So all I could do is reduce, but then I lose my whole corner, right? So this is a very nice in-game move, is the monkey jump here. And maybe you can win with this. Of course, I can simply block this way, though. So I would probably block normally. But you can see with just a little bit better in-game, you might be able to make up that deficit a little bit faster. And something else, I guess. Maybe just a block. Yeah. But you can see it's a little bit different ways to try stuff. There's always multiple ways to try stuff. I don't think I needed a block there. I don't think you needed to block here. I think Sente in-game's bigger, and then block here is bigger. This block is bigger than this block. All right, so here, watch your weaknesses. Of course I saw this. Of course I saw the cuts. But, you know, no need to. But yeah, watch your weaknesses. And, yeah, not a bad game. Not a bad game. Um, I think for Tsuji's, it's all about doing go problems. Not a problem. Not a problem. Hope you enjoyed. So I would say keep doing go problems, but you need to realize that some shapes are actually, I highly recommend getting it to Tsuji book. That's the best way to learn it. I'm not gonna lie, the ways to learn those Tsuji shapes is to do Tsuji problems. And they're slightly different than life and death problems. They're shapes that take advantage of your opponent's lack of shape. Um, but I highly recommend doing some, maybe the elementary Go series Tsuji problems, or the what is the other one? Get Strong at Tsuji. The Get Strong and Elementary Go series I think is pretty good, and they have some really good Tsuji problems. Yeah, I hate Go problems, but do as I say, not as I do if you want to improve. Because, of course, I had to do Go problems when I was studying in Korea. I had to do Go problems when I was studying under Jenny. And when I was starting out, of course, I did Go problems, but I ended up developing a hatred for them because I started hating them. All right, a review? Cool. So we can do that.